There we go. There we go. What up? What up? What up? What up? My mic was off. My mic was off. Oh man, it's been a week, man. It's been a week, man. And you really sometimes you just find out who people are. Sometimes you find out things about yourself. Sometimes you find out things about other people. Um, Everybody wants to take the elevator to the top. Um, Everybody wants to push a button and just go straight to the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants that feeling of like the doors open and everybody to be like, yeah, congratulations, you made it. Everybody wants that instant success, man. Um, but life don't always work like that. Sometimes sometimes life's elevator is out of order sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that elevator might be full. Um, and sometimes God might be looking at you like, nah, you taking the stairs. Like you got some things to learn along the way. So you taking the stairs. I'm gonna force you to take the stairs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to realize that there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking the long way to success. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing against it. I don't know where we in life get this false notion where, you know, I think some of us get in the way. We start comparing our lives to other people's lives on social media when, sometimes the people could be telling a lie. You know what I'm saying? But truthfully, man, when it comes to reaching success and attaining success and stuff like that, man, I'll take the stairs. And I'll be totally honest with you. Everybody, y'all watch my podcast every week. I took a week off to kind of get some things together. Um, you watch my podcast, I'm a work in progress myself. And you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't tell you to do anything that I wouldn't do. I'm taking the stairs myself. I'm not taking the instant way to success. I'm not out here doing stuff for clout. I'm really genuinely like praying that my message really reaches people and resonates with your soul. Um, but what if we finally get to the top, man? Look around and realize success doesn't look anything like we thought it would. Think about that for a second, man. But with all that being said, man, I would just welcome y'all to the Mental Game Podcast. As you know, I'm your host, Jay. You know what I'm saying? If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you popping in and uh, you know, listening, watching for the first time. You know what I'm saying? If you've been rocking with me, you already know what it is, man. Here we talk about mental health, we talk about family, we talk about growth, we talk about life, and sometimes whenever random stuff hits me during the week, we talk about that too, man. So um today we taking the stairs. Today we taking the stairs, man. So um quick shout out, man. The mental game, as everybody knows, man, mental game started as a clothing brand. um I got a bunch of designs, man. My website is still down, unfortunately. But while it's down, man, I can still get you merch. I've started posting different designs and hoodies and stuff because pretty soon the summer's gonna be over. We've been finna get into that little chilly hoodie season. With this new generation, they wear hoodies all throughout the year anyway. So I've started posting some merch on my Instagram. So if you something cross your timeline, across your eye, man, that you like, man, let me know. DM me, send me a DM, tell me what color, your size, and this, that, and other, and we'll work out a way to get it to you. You know what I'm saying? I do ship. I do ship. You know what I'm saying? Um, just let me know. Just holler at me. Um, hit me directly. Send me an email. I put my email somewhere down here somewhere. But yeah, get at me. I even put my Instagram and my Facebook handle on there. So just DM me directly, man, if y'all want some merch. Um, Mental Games book spotlight, man. I got a book that's coming out really, really soon, man. It's called The Mental Game. Um, it's not a tell-all book, but usually in this book I tell and I give my life experiences and what shaped my life, the things I know I did right, the things I know I did wrong, and and the things I did wrong, I tell on, how I conquered them, how I overcome them, and how I use those things to, it's not really negative things that brought me down, like stepping stones to that I learned from to bring me up in the future. Um, you know, this book isn't about me pretending to figure out life. You know what I'm saying? It's about me, really going through a few things to figure out life. You know what I'm saying? It's about mental health. So my mindset is about resilience. You know what I'm saying? I throw a couple of personal, it's a lot of like not a lot, but it's quite a bit of personal things in this book. You know what I'm saying? That show a little bit of resilience and purpose and faith and hard lessons, mistakes, and most importantly, it shows a lot of my growth. It tells a lot of my growth, and it's just me trying to help other individuals that might be going through the same struggles I went through. So, pretty soon, man, on Amazon, just like both of my other books, I got Dangerous Attraction. I got my men's daily check-in journal, man, all available on Amazon. So, ladies, man, uh, for the man in your life, man, you love him, you respect him, you care for him, man. Purchase him a mental health daily check-in journal, man, so he can check in with himself, hold himself accountable. You know what I'm saying? Kind of build on those uh negative things that may have happened throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? And continue to build on the positive. Um, but my book, The Mental Game, it's about understanding that sometimes the things we go through prepare us, for where we're going. And yeah, that's it, man. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But that's coming soon, man. The Mental Game coming soon. Like I'm probably put the book cover on there, man. Birthday shout outs, man. We are in a new month of August. You know what I'm saying? My mother-in-law's birthday. My mom's birthday is coming up. You know what I'm saying? I got some cousins and some big sisters. Not some big sisters, but through life, I've had, I've made, I got my big sister Debbie D, man. Shout out to her. Happy birthday to her. Um, you know, but everybody celebrating life this week, man, this month, man. Happy birthday to you. Another year, is here that God gave us, that gave you specifically, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to you on your birthday, man. Also, shout out to the people celebrating anniversaries. Whether it be a wedding anniversary, sobriety anniversary, you know what I'm saying? The anniversary you celebrating, you still here on this earth, you know what I'm saying, with us, you didn't survive something. Shout out to y'all, man. Um Shout out to everybody who said, hey, by 30 years old, I'm gonna have it all together, man. Shout it out to you. You know what I'm saying? And and let me know how that worked. Cause some of us over here still fight, man. So but still shout out to you, man. Um but most importantly, man, shout out to the survivors, man. If you made it through something that nobody clapped for this week, this is for you, man. Shout out to you. We see you over here. I'm gonna ground this episode with my verse. Everybody knows, if you've been watching the podcast for the last couple months, man, I always ground my episode with a verse, man. Um, Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. This verse grounds my podcast for a reason, because sometimes, courage is not just making one giant leap. You know what I'm saying? It's not taking the elevator. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's, just courage and encouraging you to take the next step, but just knowing taking those steps that God is with you the entire way. And I want y'all to know that and take that with you wherever you go, man. Mental preparedness. My mental preparedness tip for the week, you know what I'm saying? And today I want to talk about preparing financially for the long road. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants the big investment. Everybody wants, money to just fall out the sky and into their bank accounts and whatever, man. But life ain't like that. Um, everybody wants the big savings account. Everybody wants that big emergency fund to just, you know, come up out of nowhere. But you got to start small. You know what I'm saying? So my tip for this week is, start small. If you could put $25 away every paycheck, you can put $50 away every paycheck. If you could do $100 every paycheck, start small. You know, also, buy a little extra food. Non-perishable food. You know what I'm saying, that you can uh keep in long-term storage. You know what I'm saying? Buy some water that you can keep in long-term storage. You know what I'm saying? Learn a useful skill. Learn learn how to build your emergency supplies up. Um, Handle one thing at a time. Preparedness works the same way as success does. You know what I'm saying? Little decisions, you know what I'm saying? Over time, continue to build constantly, take those steps, you know what I'm saying? Pun intended. Um, until it becomes something, vast, you know what I'm saying? Till it becomes a surplus that you have set to the side so you can prepare. Because if you live in the Gulf states like, I do, the neighboring Gulf states like I do, here in Texas, we get hurricanes. Just recently in the last recent years, we done got snowstorms where, Houston not really prepared for it. So the power gets knocked out. So, you know what I'm saying? You want to be prepared for those situations. But as always, remember, like I always say, prepared people don't panic, they plan. So that's my mental preparedness tip for the week, for this week. So now I want to move into my main topic. I got all my stuff kind of getting in the way. I need to clean my room, man. Y'all can't see the madness, man. I got a few little projects going on here. It's always like, for I don't know if I made an announcement. I'm making soap now. I'm back making soap and I'm back making candles. Call it the mental state of clean collection. That's my soap, and the mental state of mind collection. That's for the candles. So I got a few projects. A few things I'm moving around in my room now. So uh, y'all bear with me if y'all see me just moving stuff. Um, yeah, not moving to the main topic, man. Um. I think we live in a world that, especially with social media and stuff like that, we live in a world that makes us feel like we're taking a long time. And in taking that long time, it means that it makes it feel like we're failing. Um, we live in a world where you see people blow up overnight. You see businesses going viral. Somebody becomes a millionaire at 23. Somebody becomes a millionaire at 14. Um, Somebody buys a house, gets promoted, buys a new car, and you are still working. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are still like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but if you're not careful, you know what I'm saying, you start looking at life like something's wrong with you. And you know what I'm saying, you start asking questions like, why not me? Why hasn't this happened for me yet? Why am I still here? Why is this taking so long? Um, but we gotta, us as people, us as individuals, in the state of mind we in right now, we need to stop confusing slow with stuck. You know what I'm saying? Just because things ain't moving as fast as you want them to, it don't mean it's not moving. It doesn't mean it's not moving with intention or purpose. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's taking longer than you expected, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you're going the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you took the wrong turn. It doesn't mean it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's just not time yet. It's just simply not time yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been thinking about this phrase that I came up with, and I have a shirt for it. I made a shirt for it. When it comes to reaching success, I'll take the stairs. And I really mean that, man. I really do believe that, because elevators skip everything. Elevators skip the whole process. You know what I'm saying? You get in, and you come out somewhere completely different, and sometimes you don't know you forget the building blocks that actually got you there. You know what I'm saying? Um, the stair method, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like your preparation, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like your building, you know what I'm saying? And makes for more of a fulfilling journey in my book, this is my opinion. Um, you know what I'm saying? How can I say it, man? Uh, every floor you climbed, you earned something. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's just given to you. You know what I'm saying? You know how to not just cultivate it, you know how to sustain it. You know what I'm saying? But you learn how to sustain things by taking the stairs. You know what I'm saying? That's what you really want. You don't want to just have it. You don't want, because there's a bunch of millionaires out there that, had their millions and went broke overnight, or went broke in a month, went broke in a few days. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't know how to sustain their gift, you know what I'm saying, what they had. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't able to cultivate that wisdom, you know what I'm saying, from the experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us always look at scars like they're ugly, but scars and taught us some of these scars we have on our heart, on our bodies, they teach us lessons. And getting on top, getting to the top. Pause for the people out there that's watching my podcast laughing because I said that. But getting to the top and being prepared for the top are two completely different things, man. Because some people get to the top and get to that mark and get all this money and stuff like that and be broke overnight. And then, you got these other people out here that went through the grind and went through the struggle. And you see them still thriving because they learned along the way. And that's what taking the stairs is all about. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at my notes. Just want to add something. Like, taking the long road doesn't mean, doesn't make you right all the time. You know what I'm saying? Uh, sometimes people take the long road and do dumb shit along the way. Um, you know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you're doing stuff right. You gotta check yourself. You gotta move with good intentions. You got to, you know, you got to know how to treat people right along the way, because that's important too, because you never know who you're going to need on your way to the top. So you got to check how you treat people. Um don't cut corners on the way to the top. You know what I'm saying? Take every step and um take pride in taking those steps. Um and most importantly, man, check yourself, and check whether the person that you're becoming is somebody that you're going to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? Somebody you could look yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of what they became. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I took those steps necessary to become the person that I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you do it wrong, as long as it's taking right now, it might take even longer. So you might want to check yourself. So, but also most importantly, you know what I'm saying? Just another thing I've learned in life is that big plans, they start in small rooms. Like my podcast, I'm shooting my podcast in my man cave right now. I designed all of my clothing brand and all of the ideas, my candles, my soap, all of that's done in this small room. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna come out of this one day. I just do it because I feel like I can make a difference. I feel like it's what I'm called to do. I feel like um I feel like I can make a difference doing this podcast thing, promoting positive mentalities to have, because we're we're coming up in a world that's kind of fueled by so much negativity. Um, I often think of too about how many businesses and start at somebody's kitchen table, somebody's laptop, somebody's garage, somebody's bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then later on in life, 10 to 20 years down the line, you see they're this big successful business. I say that for the people that's watching this podcast right now that's in business, but you're doubting your business because you think your business is too small, your business is not growing fast enough for your liking. You know what I'm saying? This is where, I encourage you to continue to take the stairs, continue to build and continue to learn, continue to cultivate that knowledge and use it to push yourself forward, man. Keep climbing them stairs. Don't give up. Don't give up, man, because you never know how close you are, man, when you give up. You never know. Tomorrow might be the day you win. Tomorrow, the next minute might be the minute you win. You never know, man. You'll never know how close you are if you quit. So don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Keep building them plans in that small room. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was told, I know a long time ago, man. I was a kid, man, and I heard this. It was like a proverb. There's a story about. I heard about an elephant and a dog, and whether every little detail gets told perfectly, you know what I'm saying? It's not the point I'm trying to make, but it's the lesson in the story. You know what I'm saying? This dog becomes pregnant. And if you know the story, if I'm telling it wrong, let me know. But this dog becomes pregnant and the elephant becomes pregnant. The dog has puppies, then gets pregnant again and has more puppies. And meanwhile, the elephant is still pregnant. Um, and you can imagine the dog looking at the elephant like, you sure you pregnant? You know what I'm saying? Because I've had multiple litters and you ain't produced shit. So, but an elephant's pregnancy takes roughly, I think, 22 months. 20. I couldn't find the note to write on. I probably could have Googled it, but when I was writing this stuff down, and typing it up, I lost that little detail. So, but I put on here, it's over a year, but I think it's 22 months. Elephant's pregnancy takes roughly 22 months. You know what I'm saying? And eventually that elephant gives birth to an elephant. That sounds funny coming out, but like when you think of an elephant, you think of something massive, something that when it hits the ground shakes. You know what I'm saying? You feel the presence of this animal coming into the world. You know what I'm saying? This animal's massive. This animal's gonna grow to be something gigantic. I've seen videos and stuff where elephants change the course of jungle pathways and stuff like that. Um, and I think that about life sometimes, man. Just think about that elephant and how something that massive, takes so long to develop. Now, 22 months, that's damn near 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That an elephant sits here and walks around pregnant. That's crazy. But, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think about that when y'all watching everybody around you produce and get these new jobs, these new houses, start these new businesses, to get these new opportunities. I want you to think of that. I want you to think of that when you sitting there wondering, hey God, what about me? You know what I mean? Like, when am I going to get my blessing? You know what I'm saying? I want you to think of that. I want you to think of that elephant pregnancy, as weird it may be, you know what I'm saying, for me to try to convey that message to you. Think about that, man. Sometimes the most massive things that are being created, sometimes they take the longest time. And you just gotta rest in assurance of that, man. Like, hey, man, the blessing that's on me, the blessing that I'm going to receive is so big. That's why it's taking so long to be cultivated. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not behind. Maybe what you're carrying just requires a lot more development than you think it needs. You know what I'm saying? So stop judging what you're carrying by somebody else's success or somebody else's um I guess the best word to say for it, stop judging yourself. Stop judging what you're carrying off of somebody else's success, because it might be more on you. You know what I mean? Might be something bigger. You call it might be bigger. You know what I'm saying? So, let's take the more rewarding path, man. Like, let's take pride in, what I'm saying, at the end of the tunnel, you're gonna be like, I built this. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is my last little detail. Some of y'all might not like this. What if success doesn't look like money? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us don't know what success looks like, because we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, maybe success isn't what we've been taught it looks like. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say that. Maybe success isn't $1 million. Maybe success isn't a Lamborghini, a nice car. What if success isn't a big old house? What if success isn't like being famous? What if success is just having enough, to survive? What if success is peace? You know what I'm saying? I watched this video the other day that talked about Noah's Ark, and how Noah's Ark was one of the greatest structures ever built by man, and it was missing one of the most important things that a ship could have. It was missing a steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? Because God's the navigator. You know what I'm saying? God was the navigator of that boat. And you know what I'm saying? And they compared it to being in a floating season. Sometimes you just need to be still. And there's another thing I have realized. Sometimes being still isn't necessarily being still. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you could run in place, you know what I'm saying, but you're still working. You know what I mean? What if success is just being present with your kids, man? What if success is just having a marriage that you're proud of, having a relationship that you're proud of? What if that's success? What if success is being able to sleep peacefully at night? What if that's what success looks like? What if success is looks like being able to help somebody? You know what I mean? Just being able to have enough to be able to help the next person. What if that's what success looks like? You know what I'm saying? What if success looks like being able to live according to your own values without anybody telling you um otherwise, for lack of a better word? You know what I'm saying? What if success is getting closer to God? You know what I'm saying? What if that's what success looks like for some of us? We don't know. I mean, we know what we've been taught, but what if that's not really what success looks like? And I want y'all to think about that, man. Like, maybe somebody watching me thinks I'm successful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at somebody else thinking, hey, they successful. Um, but I see other podcasters all the time, and I look at numbers. I'm not above reproach. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I get a little weary when I look at my podcast numbers and I look at my subscribers and stuff like that. I get weary, but I got a consistent following, man. I got people that consistent listen to me and compliment me on the work I'm doing each and every day. And what if that's what success looks like? The people that I need to reach are being fed. And what if that's what success looks like for me? And um, so if your definition of success always requires you to have more, you'll never recognize when you've already been blessed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you'll be overlooking your blessings then. So um I got a list of practical takeaways, man. So for those of you that taking the stairs right now, here's what I want you to remember. I want you to remember to stop rushing your timeline, man. Your life isn't late because somebody else got there first. Somebody else bought a house before you, fine. Somebody else bought this car before you, fine. That doesn't mean you're not successful. We all got to walk. We all got our own little walk to walk, man. And we just need to walk. Build it correctly, man. Slow growth with a strong foundation beats a fast growth that you can't maintain. You got some people, like I said earlier in the podcast, you got some people that became rich overnight that lost it in a couple days. Don't be that person. You want to be able to sustain your blessings. Celebrate your small wins, man. Every flow matters. Every step you take matters, man. Celebrate your small wins. No matter how small the win. If it's a win, it's a win. You know what I'm saying? Stack those when you stack a whole bunch of wins, man, you probably reach the tallest tower that you could think of. Don't compromise yourself for speed. If the shortcuts cost you your integrity, man, don't take them. You know what I'm saying? Define your success for yourself. Don't let Instagram, don't let Facebook, don't let X tell you whether you made it or not. You know what I'm saying? Don't let somebody else's fake picture of their life, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these people out here faking for the gram. Don't let somebody else's life trick you into thinking that you're not moving in a good direction. You're not making the right moves. So I want you to sit with these things I said, man, and just, spend some time with yourself and just think about what I just said. I don't know how long my staircase is, and I don't know how long yours is. Maybe you're on step 5, maybe you're on step 500. Maybe I'm on step 500. Maybe I'm still stuck on step 1. You know what I mean? But maybe you had to walk back down a few steps because you realized you was climbing up the wrong staircase. We got people that's like that. Maybe I've done it, but that's life. But don't quit because somebody else is elevated and passed you up. You know what I'm saying? Don't quit because you see somebody else at their final destination. Don't give up. Don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Don't compromise because somebody else got there faster. You know what I'm saying? Don't convince yourself that God forgot about you because your blessing is taking time. Keep building, keep learning, keep praying, keep checking yourself. You know what I'm saying? Keep self-evaluating. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing the right thing. Keep climbing them stairs. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to reaching success, I'll take the stairs, man. So, if this episode spoke to you, I want you to answer something in my comments, man. What does success look like to you? I want to hear from y'all, man. Like, put it in the comments, man. What does success look like to you? I want to know. Let me know in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know. I don't want, not what social media says, not what your family says, not what your friends says, not what society says. You, man, like, what does success look like to you? You know what I'm saying? And if somebody's frustrated because life isn't moving fast enough, you know what I'm saying? So if you know somebody who's feeling frustrated because they feel like life is not moving fast enough for them, send them this episode, man. Let me talk to them. But at the end of the day, man, I appreciate every single one of y'all checking in on the Mental Game Podcast. Remember, man, I got shirts, I got hoodies, I got short sets, I got hats. Let me know, man. Hit me up, man. We'll get it to you, man. Send me a DM, send me an email. Get in contact with me, man. I got you. I appreciate y'all supporting the brand, supporting the movement. Y'all keep climbing them stairs, and as always, man, y'all remember, be focused and not foolish, man. And hey, we out, man. A peace. I love y'all, man. Y'all be good.